In an infinite and mysterious universe, the soul remains one of the most elusive and inexplicable aspects of human existence. It is not something that can be easily seen, measured, or analyzed by modern scientific tools. Yet every culture, religion, and philosophy throughout history has believed in the existence of the soul. So what exactly is the soul? Take 20 minutes to pause everything you're doing, because this might completely change how you see your life. Have you ever felt like something was missing from what you were taught about life, death, and your true self? As if someone had torn a page out of the book of your soul? It turns out, you were right. 1,200 years ago, a manuscript revealed one of humanity's most closely guarded secrets, and it was deliberately erased from history, not by accident, but because it contained a power that many never wanted you to have. The knowledge of what your soul actually did before you were born. And now, it has resurfaced. The book few dare to mention describes in detail the sacred stages that every soul goes through before reincarnation. Anime CEX, written in Latin, is an ancient manuscript over 1,200 years old, created by a secret sect of mystics. They claimed it contained a map of the soul's journey before, during, and after life. It reveals truths that religions and governments have hidden in order to maintain control over humanity. Each stage unveils a part of who you are and what you were programmed to forget. Imagine knowing exactly why you were born into this family, this body, at this moment in time. Imagine understanding your greatest challenges and deepest pains as part of a far greater plan. A plan that you yourself chose before descending into this world. Every person who crosses your path has a reason. Every obstacle is a stepping stone to something greater, and most importantly, you realize there are no victims in this universe. You are, and have always been, the architect of your own journey. Realizing this is the first step to escaping the cycle of helplessness, guilt, and fear, and regaining control over your existence. How many times have you looked at your life and wondered, why am I here? What does any of this mean? Most of us go through life as if we're on a runaway train. Events happen, people come and go, challenges appear out of nowhere, and everything feels like it's beyond our control. But that emptiness, that sense of being lost, is not a coincidence. It is a side effect of forgetting who we truly are and why we came here. But what if I told you that before you were born, you already knew the reason behind every single step you would take? According to this forbidden book, your soul underwent a deep and sacred preparation before reincarnation. You were a free and conscious being who chose your parents, your physical body, the challenges you would face, and the missions you would fulfill. Now, let us explore the 7 sacred stages that your soul experiences before birth. According to Anime CEX, before reincarnating, your soul goes through 7 spiritual phases. These are the hidden backstage of existence where all preparations take place. Each phase has a purpose. Each stage shapes who you are. Stage 1, the soul seed, the beginning of every journey. The soul is regarded as an invisible essence, eternal, immaterial, and the very principle of life within each human being. Some spiritual theories suggest that the soul begins its journey at the very moment a new existence is born into the universe, as a soul seed. This is the starting point of all life, every quest toward growth, self-discovery, and spiritual evolution. That journey begins from the very moment the soul departs from its original source to explore both the physical and metaphysical realms. The soul seed can be understood as the very first spark of consciousness in the sequence of a soul's unfolding. Before entering the cycles of incarnation, the soul undergoes a transformation from being part of the unified cosmic field, a formless essence, to becoming an individual entity capable of experience in the material world. According to Eastern philosophy, the soul is an inseparable fragment of the universe, inherently linked to the Tao, a great force that governs all phenomena and beings in existence. Meanwhile, some Western traditions describe the soul as a spiritual energy born from a higher light source, whether it be God, the divine, or the origin. Despite differing names and interpretations, nearly all traditions agree that this soul seed holds infinite potential and carries a sacred mission within each cycle of existence. When the soul embarks on its journey, it begins to make choices. These choices are not random. They shape the trajectory of the soul's development in the next life. It selects a life map, a path filled with challenges, lessons, and opportunities for evolution. At this stage, the soul is preparing for the mission it intends to fulfill in its coming incarnations. The soul is never truly alone in its journey. It is always interconnected with a vast cosmic blueprint where every soul has its own placement and sacred role. Across various cultures and traditions, the soul is seen as a thread in what is often called the universal web, a spiritual grid that links all souls through subtle energetic bonds. This connection goes beyond personal relationships. It is part of a greater divine network where the soul may receive guidance and support from other souls, including those who have gone before and now serve as teachers, protectors, or spirit guides. In essence, the soul seed is a symbol of the spiritual essence we all carry within. It is a powerful energy source, one that constantly moves toward growth, creativity, and awakening. Every step we take in life brings us signs, fragments of remembrance that help the soul rediscover its higher purpose. And when the soul is ready, it continues forward into new lifetimes, new experiences, deeper understanding, and ever closer to its ultimate completion. According to the Forbidden Book, the second stage of the soul's journey is the process of life review. Before the soul enters a new life, it needs to reflect on the results of actions from the previous life, understand the unfinished lessons, and decide on the future direction. The soul may choose to reincarnate in a difficult circumstance to continue unresolved lessons, or it may choose an easier life to experience happiness and peace. In stage 3, the soul will be led to a space, a pause known as the intermediate realm, where the soul chooses its new life. The intermediate realm is a mysterious concept, a space or time that is not clearly defined in our physical world. It is not a specific place on a map, but rather a mental state, a resting place where the soul pauses to reflect before stepping into a new life. Throughout its journey, the soul must not only endure the ups and downs of life, but also face decisions that are pivotal in each cycle of reincarnation. The intermediate realm is not a dark or lifeless space. It is a place full of light where the soul can receive guidance and seek understanding. This is where the soul is guided by invisible entities, possibly masters, high-level beings, or guides who have experienced the process of reincarnation, helping the soul make the right decisions about its environment and mission in the upcoming life. These choices are not random, but are often influenced by karma and the soul's preset goals. Throughout its journey, the soul must confront the concept of karma, a powerful force that many believe shapes each life. Karma is the accumulation of actions, thoughts, and emotions from past lives, directly influencing the experiences the soul will encounter in the current life. When the soul reincarnates, the karma from past lives affects the events it will experience in the new life. If the soul has lived a life full of love, compassion, and dedication, its karma will create better opportunities in the next life. Conversely, if the soul has lived in hatred, selfishness, and indifference, this karma can slow down the soul's evolutionary process. However, some believe that the soul can learn and change through its lifetimes, improving its karma and evolving spiritually. Therefore, the soul's transition is not always predetermined, but can depend on the choices and actions taken during reincarnation. In the intermediate realm, the soul will face its karma, reflecting on past mistakes, successes, and lessons. Here, the soul can choose to repay or reconcile these karmic debts. It may choose a new life to continue correcting its mistakes, or seek to heal unfinished relationships. Sometimes, important relationships from past lives, such as family, friends, or lovers, will pull the soul back to continue completing those lessons. Thus, in the intermediate realm, the soul will perceive these relationships as a continuous flow connecting different lifetimes. In stage 4, there is a period of choosing the purpose of life for the next incarnation. The soul undergoes a selection process where it decides to continue its journey in a new environment, a new situation. This decision is not simple because it is linked to unfinished karma and the higher purpose the soul chose, even while in the intermediate realm. The soul does not only choose its life based on karma, but also in accordance with a higher spiritual purpose. Every soul has its own goal for spiritual development, and the experiences in the new life will provide the opportunity to come closer to its ultimate goal. This may include developing love, spiritual freedom, or enlightenment. The soul may choose to live in a challenging circumstance to test itself, or it may choose to live in peaceful conditions to seek inner peace. These experiences not only help the soul grow, but also help it realize that the ultimate purpose of life is not material achievement, but attaining spiritual harmony and a deep understanding of oneself and the universe. Stage 5 involves the choice of body and family. Many believe that birth is a random lottery, that you simply appear in any family, in any body, anywhere. But the Forbidden Book reveals something much different and much deeper. The soul has chosen all of these things before incarnation. Your soul, in a fully conscious state, has been guided to visualize the different possibilities for body, family lineage, social environment, and history. Among all the choices, you have selected the one most aligned with your life purpose. I understand that this idea may be hard to accept, especially when we look at lives full of suffering, abandonment, poverty, and abuse. It may seem unreasonable to imagine that anyone would choose to go through this. But your soul does not think like the ego of a human being. It views every hardship as a tool, every scar as a catalyst for awakening. It does not choose the easiest path, but the strongest path for its evolution. You did not choose your parents based on appearance. You chose them for the invisible lessons they carry, perhaps to learn forgiveness, perhaps to break painful cycles that have repeated through many generations, perhaps to strengthen yourself through overcoming. The same applies to your body. You chose your physical characteristics, genetic tendencies, limitations, or comforts because they would be perfect for the challenges and achievements you set out to experience. Nothing, absolutely nothing, is a mistake. When you understand this, you begin to view your personal story with new eyes. Pain is no longer seen as an injustice, but as a purpose. Resentment toward your parents or the environment you were born into may transform into understanding. You realize that the souls who challenge you the most on earth are often the souls who love you the most in the spiritual realm, the souls who agreed to play difficult roles for your development. And the transformation happens here. When you respect the soul's choice, you unlock the true power within yourself. Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances, you realize that you are a free being who has accepted the bravest mission to live and evolve through human experience. Stage 6. The entry to Earth, memory erasure, and karma activation. Once the soul has completed the selection of its new life, and is aware of its purpose, the next step in its journey is the entry to Earth. This is the moment when the soul begins the process of descending into the physical world, from the intermediate realm into the human body. However, entering this world is not a simple process. When the soul enters the human body, it must endure a tremendous transformation, the erasure of its memories and the activation of karma accumulated from past lives. When the soul reincarnates into a new life, one of the crucial processes it must go through is the erasure of memories from previous lifetimes. This process is known as the process of forgetting. While the soul retains its spiritual essence, memories of past lives are wiped clean, allowing the soul to enter a new life without being influenced by past events, emotions, or experiences. This process may cause the soul to feel a sense of loss, as if it has lost an important part of itself. However, the erasure of memory is not a punishment, but rather an opportunity for the soul to begin anew, to learn and experience life in a fresh way, free from the constraints of the past. Although the soul no longer remembers past lives, deep connections with past relationships and karma still persist. These memories will gradually begin to resurface, helping the soul recover and fulfill its mission. As the soul enters the new life, the karma from past lives is activated. These are the forces that the soul will encounter throughout its life, through emotions, actions, and circumstances. Karma can manifest as relationships, personal challenges, or major life events, all aimed at helping the soul complete unfinished lessons from previous lifetimes. For example, if in a past life the soul caused harm to others, the karma will activate situations in this life to give the soul the opportunity to heal and address emotions that were hidden or unresolved. Similarly, the soul may have to face financial issues, health problems, or feelings of guilt from previous lives in order to learn and grow. Although this process may be challenging, it is precisely through this karma that the soul can reconcile and evolve. In fact, the soul must confront and transform its karma in order to come closer to enlightenment and its ultimate purpose. Why does the soul have to forget? The idea that the soul must forget its past memories may seem strange to us, but in reality, it is part of a larger plan for the soul's development. The process of forgetting is how the soul can reincarnate and learn under entirely new conditions. If the soul remembered everything that happened in previous lives, it would not be able to develop freely in the way it needs to, because those memories could hinder creativity and freedom in the journey of life. Moreover, forgetting helps the soul face challenges without carrying psychological burdens. When the soul enters a new life, memory erasure allows it to live fully in the present, focusing on new goals and lessons it must face. Although the soul has forgotten past memories, there are signs, feelings, or experiences that it can still recognize. These could be special relationships, fears, or strong emotions that cannot be explained. These feelings are sometimes the result of karma being activated, or they may be signs of a powerful spiritual connection from past lives. The soul may recognize the people around it as companion souls or twin flames, possibly familiar figures from past lives. These individuals can assist the soul in fulfilling its mission or help resolve the issues the soul is facing. And finally, stage 7. The leap of faith, birth. After overcoming the veil of forgetfulness, after leaving behind the conscious memory of everything the soul had planned, the soul arrives at the most courageous moment in its journey, the moment of birth. CEX Anime describes this moment as a leap of confident faith. You, an eternal consciousness full of wisdom and love, dive into the dense physical layers of existence without any guarantees, without certainty, without memory, Only with pure faith and the invisible energy of one who knows that life is the path leading to expansion. This leap can be the most courageous act in all of existence. You leave behind the vastness of the infinite to step into a fragile and vulnerable body. You accept the limitations of matter. You accept the pain of fear and loss. You accept forgetting your true self so that through each human experience, you can remember once again. You are born as a small, weak child. You take your first breath, you cry. The material world greets you harshly and wondrously at the same time. The warmth, the cold, the touch. Everything is new. Yet inside, there is something ancient, a glimmer of remembrance of the rise. Childhood is the phase when your soul is still very close to its source. Children often speak of past lives, converse with invisible friends, have dreams that seem like messages from other worlds. However, over time, the veil thickens, and society teaches you to forget. Yet, even then, you never forget completely. In moments of silence, in profound pain, in inexplicable joy, your soul still whispers. Your soul remembers the leap you made, remembers why you came. And if you listen, even for just a moment, you will sense that you are in the right place where you truly belong. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to remember. Every love you experience is the echo of eternal truth. Every new beginning is a reminder that you once were courageous, and you can be courageous again. Once you begin to remember, an unavoidable question will arise. Why is all of this hidden from us? If our souls undergo this sacred process before birth, if each life has a purpose, if we are the creators of our own existence, why are we taught to live as victims? Why do we grow up believing that we are small, limited, and unworthy? The answer is simple and straightforward. Conscious souls are not easily controlled. Since the rise of civilizations, those in power have realized a dangerous truth. A person who remembers their true nature, who refuses to live in fear, who does not accept manipulation and does not believe in the illusions of separation, cannot be controlled. Imagine a world where everyone knows they are eternal, that they chose to come here, and that they are co-creators of their own reality. In such a world, institutions like governments, religions, and other powers would no longer be able to control through fear. The feelings of guilt, punishment, and control, the tools they have used for centuries, would no longer work. This is why this knowledge has been hidden. Not only has it been kept secret, but it has also been erased, distorted, and diminished. Manuscripts of the soul's journey have been banned, burned, and buried in history. Those who tried to remind us of our true origin have been persecuted, ridiculed, and silenced. But truth has its own power. It cannot be buried forever. It lives on in ancient books, in dreams, and in your very heart. Can you feel it? The restlessness within, the feeling that there is something more than what you have been taught. Is your soul trying to break through the walls of deception around you? After the soul has gone through the process of incarnating into a human body and begins a new life, there will be special moments when the soul starts to awaken. These awakening signs are gentle reminders, guiding the soul back to the grand mission it chose before descending to earth. These signs are not always clear, but they often appear in the form of unique personal experiences, inexplicable emotions, or even strange dreams. When the soul awakens, it begins to realize that its life is not random, but is part of a larger cosmic plan. At this point, the soul starts to notice that it has a specific purpose, a mission it must fulfill in this lifetime. But sometimes the soul also faces inner conflicts, as the memories erased during reincarnation make it feel as if it is lost. One clear sign of awakening is when the soul begins to feel a strong desire for something it had never considered before. It could be a passion for a particular field, a longing to help others, or a deep love for a certain activity. These emotions may come unexpectedly, but they are often linked to grand ambitions, revolutionary aspirations, or societal changes. Another common sign when the soul awakens is the occurrence of strange dreams. In these dreams, the soul may see images, scenes, or people from past lifetimes. These dreams could be signs helping the soul recall what happened in previous lives, as well as exploring the lessons it needs to learn in this life. In addition to dreams, the soul may also begin to notice spiritual signs from the outside world, encounters with companions from past lifetimes, feelings of familiarity when meeting someone for the first time, or strong reactions to certain events may be pieces of the past, helping the soul gradually realize its purpose and mission. The first step in the awakening journey is when the soul begins to reassess itself, correct its mistakes, and restore inner harmony. This awakening helps the soul reconnect with its true nature, opening the path for spiritual growth and higher consciousness. This leads to the soul finding peace, discovering inner calm, and gaining a clearer understanding of the mission it must complete in this life. Once the soul begins to awaken, the readiness to fulfill its mission becomes clearer than ever. These awakening signs are not just personal experiences, but powerful guidance helping the soul return to the noble purpose it chose before. At this point, the soul no longer feels uncertain about its mission. Instead, it has begun to find direction and the confidence needed to move forward in the challenging journey ahead.